Hello, welcome to Encore's weekly music show. Coming up, phenomenal Eminem pairs up with John Malkovich and Gwen Stefani for the passion-fueled soundtrack to the sports film Southpaw. Womad, Tomorrowland and Fuji Rock. We're talking about some of the world's best summer music festivals. And the Frenchest South African Rasta in Paris brings some sunshine to the studio. We're joined by Ras Dumisani, as well as France 24's music critic, Mariam Saab. Raz, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks very much to welcome up here.
And hello also to Mariam Saab, our music critic. Now,
Hello.
Raz, you're well known as a South African reggae artist. You released My Sunshine earlier this year, but on your new project, you're mixing world music with reggae. Tell us about Strom.
Yeah, it's just like a mystic thing. I was approached by Strom to have a new project. So he said, you know, I would love you to be more on percussion. And I told him, say, is what I started before in South Africa. I started doing this music. So I was doing this percussion exactly like I done with Strom. And we were very successful at that time. But when we start putting keyboards and the bass, it become reggae. When I start to sing Get Up, Stand Up, so they start to bend me up, like, you know. So we only get big festivals, but we didn't get the festivals that is more white people. We were playing for white people before, plenty for white people, on the same sound like Strom. But the day we playing it reggae, is the time they stay away from us, like, you know.
Okay, well,
like we're more political.
Let's have a listen then. This is Strom in action.
Play this music, play this sound, most bass sound, link it sound, island string. People love it, people want it, keep on playing island string. Most bass sound, island string. Link it sound, island string.
So that was from your new project, Strom. You're from South Africa. You're a reggae artist.
Yes.
But you've been living in Paris for 20 years. So is this where you found world music?
Paris don't really do a lot of world music, you know. It's more reggae, the thing I know. And before it was little jazz, but now it seems also jazz is not really passing too. But the thing that pass a lot is also maybe some dancehall. But now, this moment, these few years, also dancehall is not passing through, you know. But reggae still is always there, you know. Roots is always there, you know.
And I mean, you're deeply rooted in South African history.
Yes.
You were there as a reggae artist during the apartheid era. I mean, what did you take away from that then? Well,
I never give up on what I learned from my cultural, because Rasta is more Zulu culture as well, everything, you know. So I never forget where I come from. I never forget what my mom taught me, my uncle, my grandmother. So I always keep it strong. Like my grandmother usually tell me, so a living man is a man who's working, and the people who are dead are not dead, but it's just that they are tired, they're sleeping. So when you are living, you have to work hard. Every time you have to try things, because more you try is more you do it. So I keep it like that every time. I just keep on working all the time, making music. It's just so easy to me to make music. I have so much inspiration, because back home, there's so much things I learned, you know. So when I reach up here, I can see the differences between European and Africans, but still glad to be in Europe, because sometimes I find there is little bit advance in certain points than where I come from. So people think in a different ways, you know, like killing the animals in Africa sometimes is not important, but for the Europeans is to protect the environment, you know. protect our species. So that was always with me, even when I was at home, because I'm a vegan, I don't eat no meat. So animals are like brothers and sisters, you know?
Now, the MTV Music Awards took place in your hometown. Speaking of back home, Durban, this week. South African artists took home a few awards, but no reggae artist actually won anything. Reggae started as a music of resistance. What role do you think it plays now in South Africa and the world at large?
Well, it was always oppressed in South Africa from long time. Like you could remember the penny whistlers. It's reggae, the penny whistlers. There is this song, Imbube, ooh, oh, Imbube, is big hit on different dimension, on different genre of music, different pattern of music. You find this song. It's a big hit in Jamaica, in South Africa. They oppress those sounds. And most of the musicians who were playing those sounds, like Reggae Msomi, they left Kipi Mokesi, they left South Africa and go to England. When they reached in England, they left for America because it was always oppressed. But what I found that today, when I come back, I always go back and come back. I still see that there is still oppression. They don't want to hear music. And the only thing they would like to hear is the music who don't have no message to the people. Is that boom, 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 boom. Is what I hear every time. So you can't live on this kind of sound who don't have no message. Even one day, I cannot support it. Imagine these people listen to this music now is about maybe 25 years. They listen to the music who don't have no word. It's just goom, 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 goom. They call it house. It's the only thing you're going to hear in South Africa. So the reggae is oppressed because the reggae, it's saying some words. So it's like political to the people who are on power. So people who are on power, they don't want to hear reggae, you know?
But Raz, we're going to move on to some music news now. And someone who, I mean, does have a very strong message in his work is Eminem. Are you a fan of him?
Yes, but I don't really maybe listen to them kind of sound. I listen to more the sound that goes with melodies, you know, rhythms. So the sound that good, I'm not inside too much in it.
Well, he's collaborated on the soundtrack of the sports film Southpaw. He was actually supposed to star in the film, but he pulled out at the last minute. Why, Mariam?
He pulled out 4 weeks before he was supposed to start training for the role. It eventually went to Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, the Marshall Mathers LP2 artist switched gears and decided that he wanted to focus on the music. He wanted to do the soundtrack to the film, and he performs as lead artist and executive producer on that soundtrack, which comes out this week. He went into the studio with an ear to create iconic music, like songs Eye of the Tiger from Rocky, drawing on friends and longtime collaborators including 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and no doubt frontwoman Gwen Stefani. The record really packs a punch on Kings Never Die featuring Gwen Stefani. He cements his place as one of the greatest MCs of all time. Let's take a look at the clip.
I complain about the game, I shout and I pout, it's a long game, but I found out that I can move a mountain of doubt. I appear to be down for the count, only time I ever been out and about is driving around town. They say kings never die, just as Jan as the Jan, just grow wings and they fly, so hands up, reach for the sky, try to hold up and promo these moments, cause in the blink of an eye, they'll be over.
They say Billy Hope can't make it, Billy Hope is over. This is your time, this is your moment, let's go!
So that was from the film Southpaw, Eminem. Well, some of the world's biggest music festivals take place this week. First up, a big electronic one.
The biggest electronic music festival in the world, Tomorrowland, is hitting the farmlands of Boom, Belgium this week. Now, what started out 10 years ago has now branched to the US and Brazil. Festival favourite Dutch DJ Armin van Buuren is back behind the decks this year, along with some of the biggest names in electro, Carl Cox, Tiesto, David Guetta, Avicii. It's expected to draw at least 500,000 electro lovers. Now, day 2 of the event is really interesting. A live video connection will link up Tomorrowland Tomorrowland in Belgium with fans in Mexico City and Mumbai.
Okay, well, let's move to Japan now for a rock and roll extravaganza.
Yes, the Fuji Rock Festival is expected to be a blowout event, not as literally as the first year. In 1997, the festival opened at the base of Mount Fuji during a typhoon. Now, Red Hot Chili Peppers were actually headlining, and they took on legendary status when they played through the storm. It's since moved to a ski resort in Neighbour. This is headliners Foo Fighter, Noel Gallagher, Motorhead, FKA Twigs, Ride, to name a few. Definitely going to be a big year for that festival.
Okay, and don't forget that Womad Festival is going to be taking place in the UK as well, a big world music festival. And Raz, we've just been joined by your guitarist, Mukhtar Wuri. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here, because you're going to play us live. Now, you're performing in Montpellier at the Shaman Ganget Festival. What's that like? Have you played there before?
No, it's the first time. Yeah, first time I will be playing there.
Do you like festivals, playing there?
Yes, I do. You know, it's like I'm going to be starting now more festivals, because we have a lot of albums we record with Mokhtar now, you know. Dumisani have more than 20 albums now. So now we're going to start now moving, you know, maybe go back to Africa too, trying to sell the music there, you know.
Okay, well, you're going to give us a taster of your music. Thank you so much for joining us. That brings us to the end of the show. This is called Sweet Lover's Song. Remember our website. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.
Sweet lover song, ooh me, a sweet lover song, ooh you, a sweet lover song, ooh me, a sweet lover song, ooh you, ba 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 ba.